Hello, welcome once again to another edition of the Coach's Corner program. I'm Jeff Ruth, along with Harding Boys basketball coach Jamie Pearson. And Jamie, split since we talked last week, but you got the league win, and that's always most important.
Yeah, Pleasant was a tough game. We knew it would be at our place, and they played hard. We played hard. It was a big rivalry, and we were able to get it done at the end. And had a really tough assignment to go to Delaware Hayes, who's I think they're 19-1, or now they're 21-1, and ranked 5th in Division I in the state. And they're every bit as good as we thought they were. They jumped out big on us, and we fought back, and had a couple key errors at the end of the half that may have been able to spring us back in the game, but just weren't able to get it done. They shot it really well, and give them a lot of credit.
And you had the tournament draw on Sunday, and not only do you get a home playoff game, possibility of two.
Yeah, pleased with the draw, but as any coach will tell you, you got to win the first one to start, and it'll be a very challenging game for us, as they all are when we have to go down to the Central District and play. Olentangy has had one of the tougher schedules in the state the last couple of years, and so their record may be a little deceiving because they play really good teams. They have some really big wins, and so they shoot the three really well. So, we'll have to be at our best to be able to beat them. But got one more league game first, and to wrap up the regular season, and it's senior night, it's at home, and it'd be big to get a win there.
All right. We'll come back. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from the last two ball games. We'll do that right after these words. Once again, back on the Coach's Corner program, and Coach, last Friday night, the Pleasant game, and I've seen a lot of your games this year. It was a win, but it was ugly.
Yeah, no, sure. They play really good defense, and if you check, some think that, obviously losing the Booker kid was a big loss for them, but those kids have all stepped up, and as a team, I think they've come together, and they've played just as hard, and they always defend. They're not the biggest team that you'll come up against, but they have a really good defensive game plan. The kids are very smart, they're very physical, and so they were ready for a lot of what we were able to do. So, but it's those rivalry games. They did the same thing to RV both times they played them, and they always play us tough, and they even gave Shelby a heck of a scare, and Shelby second in the state the first time through. So I think you just give their coaches a lot of credit. Coach Snively's been doing it a long time, and they got a lot of guys that have played a lot of basketball. They got a big senior class. So the way they performed didn't surprise me. We'd always like to play a little bit better probably than we do, but we're happy to get out of there with the W.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the highlights from the contest last week.
All right, most exciting thing just was a great crowd. We had a big student section for the first time all year, and really good stuff there. Trey Katie for three early to put us up big, and we seem to always get up on Pleasant, and then they come storming back. That's been the motto since I've been here. Marquise Long with the steal there, up 11 early on, and then Alex Stokes with the big rebound. He gets our break started here. And then it's still a 4-point game. We hit a little bit of a lull. Marquise Long, one of the best thieves in the league in terms of steals, to use that term. And then Braylon Dyer gets hot, hits a three there. Continue to want more threes from Trey and Braylon, and we're constantly working on that. Nice deflection by Braylon, and then he's able to finish there at the rim. Feeling pretty good. I think we're up 10 at that point, or up 8. But steal by Boston Pearson, the throw ahead to Braylon Dyer, and he's able to put another one in. So definitely did some good things in this game. Logan Thrapp's been good too with the steal there.
You were up pretty much the whole game, anywhere from like 8 to 12 points. You never really could separate yourself, but they never really could make a run either.
Yeah, and that's kind of been our MO, and for whatever reason, and we work on it. we just can't seem to take it to the 15 to 20, 20 to 25. We seem to keep it close a lot. But anyway, on to Delaware now. Again, a really good Delaware team. As you can see there, we're down 10-0, so that's not an ideal place to be. But Logan Thrapp makes a steal and gets us on the board. And, at this point when you're down 10-0, you're just trying to calm your guys down. It was a full house there. Again, a state-ranked team and a smaller town as Delaware. Everybody's out. And, 26-7 here, we're still down more than we want to be. But we started to chip it away, and I was proud of the kids. Down 5, Braylon hits a 3, down 15, Braylon hits a 3, cuts it to 12. And then, Trey Cady comes up with a steal. This was a pretty big play for us. Throws it ahead to Boston Pearson. We weren't able to convert there. But if we had, we would have cut the lead down to 9 going into halftime. So weren't able to do that. They started the third quarter on fire. It was one of the most impressive shooting performances I've ever seen a team put on. We got to be better defensively. Good to see Parker Iden hit a 3 there. We were down big, and we were able to fight back. I think we ended up losing by 21. Logan Thrapp with the steal and the finish there. Was excited about that. But, like I said, they're who they are for a reason. Good to see one of our sophomores, a bright future here, Landon Keller, hitting the 3. But too little, too late. We lose to 21, at Delaware. So, back to the drawing board for Friday and Galleon.
All right. We'll come back. We'll preview the game against Galleon. We'll also talk a little bit about the tournament draw. We'll do that right after these words. Back once again on the Coach's Corner program, and Coach talked a little bit about the Galleon game, final regular season game of the year. I talked to the kids, football season, basketball season, especially at the beginning of the year, it's been a long season. Here it is. You got one regular season game left.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but basketball is such a long season. You put so much time in, often the preseason. Really, as a coach, it's 10 months out of the year. For good players, it's 10 months out of the year. But, it's a grind when you think about we started this around Halloween with practices and stuff. And then, it seemed like December we were going. And then, of course, we went to Florida. So, I'm thinking it seemed like that was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. But that was just in December. And then, you get through January, and now we're already in the middle of February. So it does feel like it should be about toward the end of the season. So, but really pleased with our record and some of the things we've done, and we just want to keep trying to get better every day. And there's no gimmies on our schedule anymore, and any night any team can beat us. Starting Friday with Galleon.
Talk a little bit about Galleon.
Yeah, they have 3 seniors that are just that really stand out to me. Like I said, 2 of them could easily be first team all league. They can really shoot it at times. They've got a new coach, and they're kind of figuring out his system as they get to the end of the year. I saw Pleasant beat them by 15, probably 10 days ago. But then 4 days ago they're playing River Valley, and it's a 3-point game with 30 seconds left. So I just think on any given night when you have a couple guys that can really shoot it, but their whole team shot it well when we went to Galleon and played them. So. It's going to be a battle, and with senior nights, it can go many different ways. It's the hype and last time here and some of those type of things which can get kids fired up, and sometimes I think I've seen it where it can get them to overthink a little bit. But fortunately for us, even though it is senior night and it's our last home senior regular season game, we're fortunate enough to say, hey guys, our first round tournament game's there too. So it's not goodbye to Harding Gymnasium. It's just
Does it concern you because you have about 10 or 11 days off between the Galleon game and your tournament game?
It's a lot, and the sad thing is, a lot of teams have to take a bye in the draw, so then it would be an extra, 3 or 4 days off. Our guys, for whatever reason this year, we're not a good group when we have 5 or 6 days to practice. Our attention kind of wanes, and it's probably many high school kids that are like that. So, we'll come up with a schedule where we'll give them a couple days off to stay fresh. We'll go 2 or 3 days, maybe sneak in another off day, and then, do a couple final games of preparation. But it's definitely something, as I've learned coming up through the coaching ranks, because the basketball season is so long, you do have to shorten your practices. You do have to give kids days off, and, you just want to keep them fresh, and you want to keep them, wanting to get out there and get after it. And so there's some thought that goes into it, but, it's all part of the equation.
You were telling me right before we started the program that the OHSAA today made some determinations, and one of them is for high school basketball. They're expanding.
Yeah, it's some other sports too, but boy, it's extremely welcome for us. The high school discrepancies, I think at the start of the year, Harding had around 1,000 kids. Maybe now we're around 800 or 900. And, we're regularly going against schools, when we play Columbus schools that have 1,800 kids. So when you have, anywhere from 800 to 1,000 more kids, it's just a numbers game. And it's, we've had some success, but at times it can be tough to compete with some of those schools. So I know that's one of the intents the OHSAA had was let's try to even the playing field. There's some Division I and there's some Division II schools that, they got come tournament time, they're going to play against teams that are maybe twice as big as them. And so I think this kind of levels the playing field. It gives kids more of a chance to have postseason success. You're going to be crowning, 3 new state champions in divisions that you normally wouldn't. So
Going to make for a long state tournament.
well, it's they've changed that around where they've moved it to 2 days and 3 days, and so but at the end of the day, we make decisions for the kids, and when you change a format where more people can have postseason success, and even in our case at Harding, we haven't had, if you go back 50 years, we have not had a lot of tournament wins. Mm-hmm. And so it's if this is something that allows us in any given year to be able to win 1, 2, maybe 3 tournament games, to me it's not something we're going to do every year, but I think it can give some kids some confidence and can help build programs.
All right. Good luck against Galleon. We'll talk again next week.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. It should be a good ball game.
Thank you for tuning in as always. It's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Coach's Corner program. For head coach J.B. Pearson, I'm Jeff Ruth.